Hey, how you doing? This is Bjorn from Shockwave-Sound. I'm just going to show you one little example of how to work with stem files. In this case, I'm using Adobe Audition, but really you could be using any multi-track audio or video editing environment. So we're going to be using an example music track here called Art of Science. This track has 8 separate stem files, and I'm just going to drop them onto the timeline like this. Now, to give me more individual control over each of these layers, I can choose here Convert to Unique Copy, which will sort of unlink these layers from each other so that each one becomes a separate element that can be moved and tweaked individually. So basically I've got all the 8 stem tracks stacked on top of each other, and if I hit play, you should be able to hear the full music track playing with all the sounds included. Now in this set of stem files, as you can probably see from my screen here, you've got the bass here, you've got the drums no kick, you've got the kick drum and so on. So for example, by hitting the mute button, I can mute individual layers. Right now I've muted the bass, the drums and the kick drum. Let's put those back in. I can also solo one or more tracks. So solo just basically means that's the only thing playing. So if I can solo the bass and this particular synth track coming up. Let's bring the drums back in by soloing them as well. So right now I've got just the bass, the drums and this one individual synth sound. You can also adjust the volume of individual layers. So for example, let's say I like this, but I feel that the kick drum is a bit too loud for my project. So I can use this little button here to adjust the volume of that individual layer that has the kick drum on it. So I'm not removing the kick drum from my mix, I'm just lowering it a little bit so it's not that dominant or heavy in my mix. Another thing I can do is to remove certain layers or certain stem tracks from certain parts of my video timeline. So for example, if I would like my bass to come in only from this point. So now this first part will play without the bass, and then when you reach this point in the timeline, that bass will come in. You can of course take this much further. You can cut and chop, mute and unmute different layers and sounds, and well, to some degree you can remix the music track to fit the timeline of your project. Okay, so I hope this was useful. We're probably going to make another few videos like this to show working with stems in other environments as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.